We're going to be dealing now with the concept of resumes and looking for a job. You may not need the skill today, but you're going to need the skill eventually sometime in your pathway, which is why it's a really good time here in business communications to look at the concept of how you go about communicating your qualifications to sit down and apply for a job, maybe even the job of your dreams. A lot of times in the career pathway, you start out with a job and Uncle Joe got it for you. And it's nice and it's a good job for a year, maybe two, or maybe even a lifetime. But a lot of times people go out and they'll get that first job and they stay with it for years and they truly hate it. I encourage you to sit down, look for the job that really fits well, and then also go back and re-examine it later on. That may not be the path that you want to end up on long term. So go around, use the ability of you to grow and mature, to sit down and think, maybe I love this and maybe it is exactly what I want the rest of my life. But that being said, let's go around looking for jobs. The latest trends, mobile technologies are on the rise. Well, good night. Everybody is on technology right now, except keep in mind that at the time of this recording, only 47% of all businesses have a website. 53% do not. So it's interesting that even though we have mobile technologies, a lot of people are out there. There's a lot of jobs that are going back to old school, something very simple, an email want ad, something simple in the aspect of other technologies. So always keep on the rise and the lookout for that. Networking. A lot of times, no matter what anybody says, it's who you know. So put your name out there, let people know you're looking for work, even Uncle Fred. So that being said, a lot of things that are not technical are being looked for. They want people that can communicate and have soft skills, which is what this class is all about. So take the skills you've learned in this class and put them forward on your resume, put them forward in the aspect of your ability to communicate and connect with people. That is a giant skill set. Social media presence is a must. Make certain you have some social media out there and put on your social media you're looking for work. Go through and scour your social media and make certain there's nothing that would sit down there and turn off a potential employer for you because of the fact of whatever you may say, they may find inappropriate, especially in the workplace, because now everything is out there and they're looking everywhere. If you post it public, they have a right to access from the public aspect all. It's all digital, including your resume, including your cover letter. So you have to sit down and have your resume please the AIs, the artificial intelligence devices that go through. Typically, from LinkedIn to almost all of them, Indeed and so on, they're looking for keywords. They ask the employer that wants to hire people, what are the 7 key words you have to get this job? And so they actually have a search engine looking for those 7 words. And I kid you not, you hit those 7 words, boom, you'll get an application. I was up one time, I have a huge background in negotiations, and I was just sitting there and I put something out there a couple months ago, and all of a sudden, within one day, within 1.5 hours, I had 3 phone calls about negotiations because I hit the magic words for one job and 3 different recruiters were all vying to get the commission off the job. It happens that way. That's how it is. So make certain you're paying attention to your skill sets. Put it in there, what the skills that you have on communications. You have a lot of good interpersonal relationship abilities. You have soft skills. Those words may trigger something. You'll, instead of 7, you should be loading up your resume with 14 to 20 different keywords you think are pertinent to your area, and trip one of those things in the process with the AIs defined. A lot of companies, they use applicant tracking systems. It's on there. Keep in mind, I'm going to recommend that you have a written cover sheet, except make certain your cover sheet, you can just sit there and grab a chunk of it electronically and put it into an AI, an application system, an applicant tracking system, and that you can sit down and do it, because almost for sure, that's what's going to happen. Very few of them are going to want a paper copy or even an electronic copy, but have it as PDF, and then boom, you can sit down there and also load it digitally as you go through. It's an employer's market right now, except for the fact that who knows what happens next month. Some areas of the economy, Even in the worst of times, they really sit there and they thrive, and some areas wither. It just depends on the moment. The resume certainly isn't dead. And a job hunter or even recruiters that are out there hiring for other people, they're still looking. Your resume has to be current in the process. So analyze yourself, focus in on your interests and goals. I really recommend you take the Strong's Interest Inventory. That really is a really powerful tool. I check on the web. I also have another recommendation for how to go about doing it. But the truth is, know yourself, analyze your skill sets, look at your qualifications. You probably have some qualifications that you never really thought about. They need to go on your resume. Explore career opportunities. Have a job search strategy. Search the open job market, and then pursue things that you think might be out there also as well, and cultivate your online presence and have your connections, your networking all over the place on different areas. Join groups. If you, in my case, human resources, I was on about 17 or 18 different human resource boards, and I was getting jobs all the time on a regular basis. I would get a job from Europe, also in India, even one in China, where they're actually looking for a human resource presence in the United States. So you have all kinds of different things if you go about doing that. Build your personal brand. What are you good for? What are you passionate about? What do you identify with? You like logos, logo yourself in a certain way in the process. So create a customized resume. Choose a generalized style. We'll talk about that shortly, but also make certain that for every single job you apply for, that you scan your resume, and if you have to tweak it to fit that job, then tweak it to fit the job. I'm not saying lie. I'm saying emphasize the skills you're looking for on your resume if you're qualified for it. But that being said, make certain your cover letter, that you have a basic cover letter that you can readily alter to sit down there and suit the job that you're applying for. Every single time. Don't do blanket resumes, blanket cover letters. Nobody likes reading them, and you're not going to get any kind of feedback on it. Customize everything for the person because they want somebody that's customized for them. Know the hiring process. Explore. If there's an ad out there, call up their human resource department, and if you can find a human to answer the phone, ask them questions about the hiring process. Okay, if I apply this or that, so on, follow the process they tell you to do. If they want an application, fill out the application. Never ever say, see resume on the application. That is the kiss of death. It ticks off everybody in human resources. They're looking to have your resume translated into a standardized document where they can compare people quickly from this candidate to this candidate to this candidate. You have no idea how many people are applying for the job, 15 or 155. One time I had a job we posted. It was a part-time job. Just a part-time job, low-level skills for a child care assistant. 944 applications. How in the world do you screen those things? The first thing you do, you throw out the ones that don't qualify. You're not looking for the best one. You're looking to get rid of those that don't qualify or the worst ones, and you want to throw them away. Keep that in mind when you're applying for a job. You may have 15 other people competing for the same job, or you may have 150 by the time you're done. You have no idea. Career opportunities, go around search. Our campus career center has lots of opportunities. People sit down there and they send requests for us. Search apps, look for help on it online. Go around and look out there, read things in the world of business. The Wall Street Journal, no, there's no want ads there, but there are different tips as to what the market is looking for. So start looking over here. If you're looking over here, all of a sudden, wow, lithium is really big this week. They're making batteries over here. How can they sit there and fit into a battery thing? Okay, a company is out over here. Let me go see if I can go do that. They're also looking over here, electric car dealerships. Okay, but they're looking for only selling electric cars. Okay, here's an opportunity for me over here because I have a lot of technical skills over here and I can talk to customers where other people wouldn't have the ability to talk to technology. I might be really good in that area. So look at different things. Let me go back over here on internship programs. You can get yourself a really good internship program and only work for a few months, but it gives you that experience in that field, and all of a sudden, boom, you hop from here to here in the process you go through. Interview someone in your field. If you have never worked there, you need to have some experience and learn the slang and the jargon that comes through it. All the slang that's out there in the process. Okay, volunteer with a nonprofit. I'm telling you that that's a connection and a way to network, especially if it's in your field as you come through. Look on classified ads, electronic boards, even buy a newspaper. Yes, they still make documents made of paper. You can buy them and people put one ads in them. Usually nowadays it's paper and they also have electronic sources as well. Join different professional organizations as you go through. On the job search, have a strategy, be ready at all times. Have your resume, have your cover letter already pre-done, sitting in your computer, on your phone, and a hard copy in your car. You may be going over here and walk into a local grocery store, a Trader Joe's, and somebody says, hey, I hear you're looking for a job. I know somebody. Hang on, let me go out to the car. I got something for you. And you go out and you come back and you give them a resume. Can you pass this on for me? You don't know when all of a sudden opportunity strikes. Pivot your strategy to meet an unexpected opportunity in your job search and look for that success, because sometimes success strikes like a lightning bolt. Take care.